Hello and good evening, and welcome to another rollicking day in the No Exit Experience on this freezing cold, freeze your nuts off day here in Western New York. So here's my pre-printed screed. Welcome to the No Exit Experience, where everyone gets a chance to talk and no one is excluded, with the exception of those who trample on the speech of others. It is a show where all topics are welcome and no one is censored for giving their honest views on those topics. If you can handle that, then hop on the bus. You're in for a wild ride. My name is Jason. I'm the bus driver. My passengers today are Richard sitting across from me and Tom doing the engineering. And we have somebody with the name Luminosity who might be on Twitch. So that's what we got. I got to early give out a shout out to Mick, who somehow damaged his ankles. I don't know if they got his feet cut off or what, but he's rehabbing. So
yeah, he didn't give me the details.
Well, ankles are the cognate part of your wrist. So, but if you break your wrist, you're in worse. You have a worse problem than your ankles. I mean, if you could still use your hands, you're good. You know, not using your feet. I mean, Greg Abbott's an example of that. He's in a wheelchair, but he's governor of Texas.
Or Josh Allen, his foot.
Yeah, mein Fuß ist gebrochen. That's German for my foot is broken. Okay, so we're going to jump right into it. You know, just like jumping into a freezing cold pond. We're going to start with my topic, and which is fake social media stories. So one day, somehow I got linked in something on YouTube. I don't know how I got to it, but it was a very engrossing story. It was about a local cop, like it would be like Chickawaga cop to Buffalo. You know, that a local cop next to a larger area, who's kind of a slob, pulls over a black man in a car who's looking in, you know, he's pulling him over for being black. The black man is very well dressed. He's shaved. He's very put together. He looks a lot better than the police officer. Going into it, you know, and it turns out that you get the backstory that the black dude is new to the city police department as the head of the internal affairs office, and the local cop, the white guy, is just looking for any probable cause to arrest him, and the black officer doesn't identify himself as an officer, and he doesn't give him anything, and it goes for a while. I thought, this is interesting, and I tried to look it up. Nothing of it was true. Not the localities, not the names of the officers, not the story. None of it was true. It was completely fiction. It was completely fiction, and that's the thing that happens if all your stuff comes from social media. They're made from whole cloth. The stories are total bullshit. There is nothing real. There's nothing real there. And I mean, and you can't fact check it. I tried to fact check it and nothing, nada. So what do you got to say about that, Richard?
I have this to say. I have a quote.
Okay.
The man who lies to himself due to the lies he hears from others evolves to the point where he cannot distinguish the truth within him or around him. It's from the brothers Karamazov.
Oh, okay. Well, to take, who wrote that? Tolstoy?
Dostoevsky.
Dostoevsky. I couldn't think of Fyodor's name. I go blank when I get on the show. I don't know why. What's up with that?
If I find out, I'll let you know.
Okay. But if you start to like the smell of your own farts, you think too much of yourself. You know, that's the thing that people that are so holier than thou. That's the crass way. You know, you like the smell of your own farts.
I see.
Because that's crass.
I see.
Okay, but Luminosity doesn't give us anything more. But it's just drawn to it like a car accident. I'm just looking at that GIF and drawn to it. Okay, so the next question is the next topic is genetics revisited.
Yes.
So I didn't do my research. I sent Richard an article earlier this week that it was published in Science this week, which is a very acclaimed journal. It's legit. It's not like the Journal of Negative Studies. That's a joke, you know, that if your study doesn't show any difference, they'll publish it in the Journal of Negative Studies, so it doesn't get published. But was saying, I've always said that we are blessed and cursed by our genetics. And one estimate earlier was between 6 and 10% of genetics is what does it. But these people found 55%. 55% were favored or were influenced by genetics and your lifestyle. There was intrinsic and extrinsic things. Intrinsic is me having an MI. Extrinsic is me getting hit by a bus. Okay. But then they said there's kind of an overlap, though, of COVID, because I don't recall. This is where I didn't do my research. It was something about A positive blood type, because I am A positive, either we're more likely or we're protected against COVID. I can't remember if it was an advantage or a disadvantage. I don't recall, but A positive, and that's where it overlaps, where your genetics interface with the outside, because that's what we all do. When we were earlier, Richard and I were talking about altruism, and that it's a philosophical thing. There's no true altruism. We even the warm fuzzies I get for doing something good for somebody else. So there's no true altruism, doing something good for somebody else with no return.
Well, there's different concepts. Of what altruism is.
And so that's where the internal and the external go together,
Well, you have to depend on the example.
Mm-hmm.
You're in World War II. You're in a foxhole with your platoon, and a live grenade is thrown in.
Mm-hmm.
One guy puts his helmet over the grenade and lays on it.
Mm-hmm.
He dies.
Mm-hmm.
Was that altruism?
That's a good question, because what does he get from it?
Exactly. It goes outside that definition I gave you.
Because, that could be the idea of the brotherhood of military and police and firefighters, even stronger than blood. Because if your brother, not your brother, but Joe Smith's brother is an asshole. Well, he says, I love him anyways. He's my brother, but he is an asshole. Mm-hmm. Whereas people, they come together on the team because they won't, if you don't fit in the firehouse, they will move you out, Like young guys that are late for work, late 3 times for the ladder, they put you on the engine, on the pumper. Because being on the ladder is a privilege. And that's why you trust these guys. You know that in a trust fall, they'll always catch you. Like my roommate would let me fall and then give an excuse why my roommate didn't catch me.
So if you are falling and your roommate's in the room, you don't have high expectations that she's going to save you.
Oh, no. There's always an excuse. Yeah, absolutely. So that's where the genetics are. But more so than we know it, the reason why people live to 100 isn't from their good living. It's that genetics saving them from this little bit here and this little bit here and smoothing out the sharp edges. That's why, because there are the healthiest dead person you've ever seen, because genetics causes somebody to have an MI, or their berry aneurysm blows when they're 50, or an MI when they're 70, Well,
you mentioned Jack LaLanne earlier this evening, and what he did in his elder years.
Yeah.
Was Jack LaLanne's vitality mostly genetics?
That's a good question, because that's part of it, that because in his time nobody was juicing. He might have done protein powder, but steroids weren't available. Anything you had, it would be obvious because they weren't as good. That they're rougher edges. Like Thorazine is not a good antipsychotic. We have things that are much, much more precise now, but that's how time goes on. We learned from yesterday's mistakes. So he's just made a man out of Mac, the 97-pound weakling, that, and the guy
Charles Atlas, yeah.
Right. Charles, the guy kicks sand in his face, and then
Right. I've seen, I used to have that cartoon in my bathroom. I think I took it down.
Yeah.
Unless it's still up there.
I didn't notice it. I only saw the fallacies. But, because might makes right. That like the kids in the yard, the big kid says fist ball beats them all, so he gets his way to choose what teams or what is, because might makes right. Intellectualism has no place when you're a child. And okay, so that's genetics though. I still stand by it that you see it when a mother has 2 or 3 children that have the same genetic syndrome. That's right there tells you it's genetics, that it's bad enough to have a special needs child. 2 are it's a load that many can't bear.
Well, that's a good segue to the Mitford sisters.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so a wealthy aristocrat in England, he had 5 daughters. And he insisted that they get the very best education.
Yeah.
And they all turned out differently. All right. You're not familiar with the Mitford sisters, are you?
No, I'm not.
Now, they were all celebrities of their day because they were from high society.
What time frame is this?
That'd be the 1920s up to the 1970s. Okay?
Yeah.
Nancy became a novelist, and she wrote about her family's eccentricities in a comedic way. Pamela moved to the country and had a quiet life in rural England.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Diana, she left her first husband, which was a scandal in those days, and she hooked up with the fascist leader of Great Britain, Oswald Mosley.
Oh, that rings a bell, but not her name, but his.
They were married at the home of Joseph Goebbels.
Hey,
Deborah married the Duke of Devonshire and lived her entire life as a sophisticated landowning aristocrat.
yeah.
And then comes Jessica. Jessica believed in righting the wrongs of society. So she ran away to fight in the Spanish Civil War. And then later, when she read about the injustices against black people in the United States, she moved to the U.S., settled in Oakland, California, and joined the Oakland Communist Party, where her writing skills and her wit moved her to the very top of the party, where she was keeping all the records. So when the McCarthy hearings came out, she was subpoenaed, and they said, "Bring your records." And she can't, and this is how crafty Jessica was. So she goes to the hearing, and every time they ask her a question, she answers it in such a comedic way that the whole room burst out in laughter. They forgot to ask her for the records. She walked out of there and never gave it to them. She later,
Hey,
there's Brian.
Always,
Guys.
Brian, buddy. Everybody at home, Brian is. I think the world of Brian. I mean, this is like finding a $5 bill in your pocket. You didn't even know it was there. Maybe even a 10.
What's going on? How you guys doing?
We're still alive. So heck yes.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been working my tail off, man. He gave me mornings. I'm working first and second shift all last week, so I'm a little strung out right now.
Well, are you working out as you're managing it? Like, are you also getting the workout?
Yeah, so I get to play. Actually, the first gym that I go to is just badminton, but it's setting up the whole gym, the mats. It's a workout, and then I play. But now the second job, which is a different location, is strictly pickleball, and I've been playing that like crazy. So yeah, it's nice.
That was in the Righteous Gemstones. The one guy that was having an affair, that not one of the family, but he was having an affair with one of the members of the family. The guy was so athletic on the pickleball court, he just goes, bam, and he's walking by and hits somebody right in the face with the ball. That's how athletic the guy was. You know, that some of these people can't even find the net. And then others, you're like, dude, how did they place that ball there?
Yeah. There's a dedicated group that comes in the morning from 7:30 a.m. till about noon. And 2 of them are judges. You got a doctor in there. I mean, it's a huge mix of people that you wouldn't in the world ever think play pickleball.
Right.
And these guys are very dedicated, very serious.
You think they should be smoking cigars and playing poker?
Yeah, they're very serious about their pickleball.
Okay.
So what are the topics? What are we up to?
Well,
I have a question about pickleball.
Sure.
Is it in the same category as tennis, badminton, or ping pong?
All right. So what happened was, actually, I learned this in rehab. I didn't even learn this at work. But these 2 kids were bored and they had nothing to do. The mother says, go outside and find something to do. So they created it. It's a mixture of tennis, table tennis? So tennis, table tennis, and wiffle ball. What is it? Like wiffle ball.
Wiffle ball. Baseball.
Yeah. So it's a mixture, Richard, and there's 3 areas. There's the front square, which is called the kitchen. You don't want to be in the kitchen. It's only for serving. But you don't want the ball to go in the kitchen. It's got to go past that. And then there's 2 squares in the back where you and your partner would stand. And you want to get it in one of them squares, not out of bounds and not in the kitchen.
Fascinating.
It's pretty challenging. And there's these 2 women, the mother and daughter, and they're the best in the world. They've been unbeatable for like 4 years. I mean, they're best in the world. Yeah, it's crazy.
Have you ever seen the Ocho on ESPN2? Because remember in
a little bit.
Dodgeball, the movie, they said on the Ocho, it was a joke that ESPN was adding on, so they got to number 8. And now ESPN2 will, every couple of months, will have all these archaic games, like the wiffle ball championship, pickleball, pogo stick jumping, and there are professional leagues.
Cornhole.
Cornhole. Yeah, threw it in my cornhole. but that's what they call it.
Now the family that created pickleball, their houses, their backyard is a historical site. You can go see the original pickleball court and the paddle, which is a stick with a board taped to it. It was the original paddle. It's like a historical site you can go see now. It's crazy.
Where is that?
I'd have to look it up.
I mean, U.S. South or West or
UK?
UK?
To the U.S. I want to say Idaho, maybe.
Oh, gotcha. I got you. I just had no idea.
Right in the backyard. There's no one lives there no more. The whole house is it. But the backyard specifically, where pickleball was made, is a historical tourist attraction. That's the word.
Way cool. Hey, it's better than a big ball of twine.
Yeah, right. So, topics. What are we up to? What are we talking about?
Well, I'm going to throw my last one in there.
I want to tell you the last thing on the last topic.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're back to Jessica Mitford.
Yeah.
She started writing articles that were picked up nationwide in editorial comment. She's the person who called out the death industry.
Oh.
So she researched what funeral homes do to people to milk them out of their money.
Yeah.
And she did this long expose. That was one of her most famous articles.
And you know what? She was completely wrong, because you know what the funeral directors say now? After that came out, it gave them a license to steal, because they just itemized everything instead of giving them one price.
Oh.
That it had the opposite effect.
Oh.
Yeah, because that was in Death to Dust, What Happens to Dead Bodies by Ken Iserson from the University of Arizona. He mentioned that's what a funeral director said. Gave us a license to steal. So that's why. Now, interestingly, you mentioned the woman marrying the Duke of Devonshire, because I think that's down towards Cornwall. You know, it's west of London, and I think that's where Devon is, but I don't know for sure. But the thing is about that is, in the 1800s, you ever hear that British phrase, Bob's your uncle, when you're done, and Bob's your uncle? Yeah. Sure. That Bob was the guy. What was his name? He was offered a dukedom, but he didn't have enough money. He couldn't have the parties, and he didn't have the land, and he didn't have all the money coming in to be lavish and to be a duke, you know? So he declined it because he didn't have the bucks, you know, he didn't have the cachet. It's like being the ugly sister, you know, that unfortunately, if the boys don't dig you, you know, your hot sister gets all the guys and you don't, you know? That's and he didn't have the bucks to do it. Is that equitable? I don't know, because, you know, it happens. But there's hope for me, you know, Brian, because a schlub like you has your gorgeous girlfriend, so there's hope for me.
Hey, I appreciate you. Hey, especially with that hair, you got a triple mohawk going almost.
You got it. Well, I got to get it cut because I'm in there's a sweet spot where it'll stand up. Now I look like one of the Thing 1 and Thing 2 from The Grinch. Okay, so.
Real quick, pickleball. I just looked it up. It was Seattle. It was created in Seattle by two dads and both of their sons.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Seattle.
Yeah. Right. Cattle, I always think of, but anyway.
I saw when I went whale watching in Seattle off of Anacortes. I saw Ruffles. Ruffles is now dead because that was 15 years ago.
Ruffles is the name of a whale?
Yeah, it was an orca. Because on the dorsal fin, it had ruffled. It didn't know if it was injured or genetic. You know, they didn't know, but they just called them Ruffles. But pods J, K, and L, because they live in pods, and up there they have J, K, and L. I think A, B, C, and D are in the Atlantic, but that's how they group them together. And the coolest thing, I shit you not, the coolest thing was a whale looking me in the eye.
I've heard of that.
I was like, dude, that thing looked right at me. I was like, man.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a scene about that in Moby Dick.
Yeah,
about the whale looking you in the eye.
And in Castaway, when the blue whale rises under,
and
that looks right at him. But that was computer generated. That wasn't real.
Yeah, right.
But even
it's
so,
very good for that era of filming. That was really good computer graphics, rather.
But as I remember in med school, we had a visiting professor from Mayo, and he said, "Dolphins are smarter than us. Hand one of them a pencil." Okay, so I want to do my my last topic because it's non-compliance. I do it from the doctor side, but all y'all that are patients, this is a good deal. So non-compliance bugs the shit out of us as doctors, because why do we do all the hard work, all the brain work, all laying out the plan for people to say, yeah, I'm not going to do that? You know, that a common thing is with cardiologists that they find whatever medicine X is. They have medicine X, medicine Y, medication Z, and you take one of these, two of these, and one of those. The only people who get that together well are the CHFers, congestive heart failure people, because when they have too much fluid on board, they'll take an extra Lasix, so they'll pee it out more. But that's why getting it all there, and then people will say, well, my doctor prescribes this, take 2 pills, I take 1. Dude, because everybody, you know, I know my body. No, you don't. You know what you feel, but you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You know? So,
well, like you say, it's like you say, what is it? Correlation isn't causation. So,
right. So what's your take on that, Brian, about non-compliance? Are you a compliant patient?
Well, I've been through a lot of doctors, a lot of prescriptions. I was a drug addict for a long time. So, of course, I'm going to go with, I just want the good shit, you know?
Yeah.
No, but truthfully, though, now that I'm like doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm on medications, proper medications. I wanted to stop my mood stabilizer because I wasn't a weight gainer, but it was making me eat a lot.
Right.
So I guess it would be a weight gainer. So I said, well, I want to stop this. But instead of just stopping like I normally would do, I did. I said, Doc, I'm looking to stop. So she gave me a lower dose and eventually changed the medication.
Yeah.
So I think I'm more compliant now than I used to be, but I think it makes everyone's job and experience for the patient and job for easier. I think, but there's compliance and there's conformity. See what I'm saying? Like, if it doesn't sound right, I mean, just because you're a doctor doesn't mean you know everything. You know more than I do physically and what's wrong with me. But if I think it's going to harm me, am I being compliant by saying no? I don't want that medication.
Well, I got a directly thing about that. I prescribe medication K, and you take it and you can't get an erection, but you don't tell me. You stop it, but you don't tell me, and you don't tell me why. So I think you're compliant with it. Wow. And then I wonder why you're not getting better.
Yeah. Okay. So I think compliance works better for everybody involved. Also honesty. Like you can't diagnose me if I'm only half telling you what's going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, we're not psychic.
Yeah.
But as Arthur C. Clarke said, at sufficient resolution, magic and science are indistinguishable. I mean, if you 1,000 years ago went into a royal court and you had your phone, or you said, who has silk? You rub on it, they get a shock, and then you say, we're going to take that, and that's where we get to where we are today. You know, that's what it is. From that little spark, or from the lightning in the sky, we're going to take that to this is what you see here. You know, because what happens today if somebody says they're from the future? What do we think? They're mental. You know, that they're deluded.
Yeah, true.
You know,
yeah.
Or they're having temporal lobe seizures. When I was a med student, I saw that in New Jersey. This guy was saying, I just feel tight. I feel tight. And he said, I don't know why he keeps saying that. I just feel tight. He got 1 milligram of Ativan and his whole personality changed. It was like taking the belt off and your belly goes out. It was like that. His whole personality changed. He was more relaxed. He didn't feel tight. He wasn't fidgeting. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah. Well, I remember I was getting the Vivitrol shot, the injection, for a while. Well, when it was time for my next dose, maybe my 4th or 5th month into it, I had used opiates that day. And I went and got the injection, and I didn't know what precipitated withdrawal was. I learned that day.
Yeah, to the sharp here.
So I ended up in the ER. It was so bad, and I was like having a seizure. I was going nuts, and they gave me Ativan to calm me down because they didn't know what else to do. It wasn't studied enough. But I do remember it totally stopping my I was freaking out because I felt like I had to get out of my body. It was crazy. I was tense. And just withdrawals, but it's all at one, precipitated withdrawal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Ativan did help a lot. It's nice to be off no maintenance. I'm not on no maintenance anymore. Vivitrol, Suboxone, the methadone. I tried it all, but what I was saying is sometimes medications are instantly, sometimes they're not. Like Toradol, I love Toradol. Whenever I got it in the muscle, man, it's a great medication,
Yeah. And
it takes longer, but it helps a lot.
Right. And that's first line now, or actually IV for kidney stones, even before Dilaudid.
Really?
Yeah. And it's funny, though, one of the first patients I saw in South Carolina was a guy who had become addicted to Lortab because he had a wrist injury. He was a golf pro. He wasn't a pro golfer. He was a golf pro. You know, he wasn't on the PGA, but he was a. But
Okay.
he said the funniest thing: methadone should be called methadone. It's no wonder the Nazis invented it.
Yeah.
And that was
It keeps you addicted. I mean, you know, it's
right.
It's,
Maintenance therapy
all
is
the
a failure.
It's controlled chaos or controlled addiction. I mean,
Right.
you're still going to see a drug dealer once a day, every morning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're going to the clinic, same concept. You're really sick if you don't have it. It's a whole thing. You know, like you get take homes and, you know, you abuse them. I went that route and it was just,
Well,
I was still using, so I didn't really give it an actual chance, but I see what it does to people that do give it a chance. So,
well, you know, the thing is, whatever you do when you stop doing it, you always know where it is. You know
Yeah.
that if you're if you're a sex addict, you always know where you can go to get laid. If you're using
Sure.
drugs,
Your microphone's on.
what? What was that?
what?
Oh,
Oh, Sal's trying to get on board? Mr. Prezioso hasn't turned his
Now,
camera on.
I will say, out of all the maintenance, Suboxone was the only one that I didn't feel like, you know, euphoric all day.
yeah.
And then it did level me out. Once I
Right.
took it properly, it leveled me out. Like
Right. Well, it's like vitamins. You know, vitamins don't do anything except keep you from becoming low. You know, becoming deficient. There's no benefit except they just make you not be vitamin deficient. So because you get like beriberi or scurvy or pernicious anemia, all the things you get for not having various vitamins. But megadoses of vitamin C don't cure anything.
Yeah, and I used the Suboxone, the mood stabilizer, and all that. It leveled me out.
Right.
And that's the thing. They wanted to give me all these meds, and I never wanted to give them a chance. Once I did, I was okay. Like it helped me tremendously for a while there.
Well, also dosing intervals, like once a day is the easiest, or once a week is the easiest way to do it. But like Keflex, 4 times a day for 10 days, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. No.
Well, that's like the prednisone or whatever. That's a lot. That's like, what is it, 4 times a day and then 3 and then 2.
Yeah,
or
that's why
whatever.
I would just do
Steroid.
pulse dosing from the ED. You know, you get 5 pills done. You know, and they're 20 milligrams, so you don't have to taper off.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that like Z-Pack or whatever?
Oh, well, the Z-Pack is antibiotics. You're talking the Medrol
yeah,
dose
well,
pack. That's the Solu-Medrol dose pack.
Yeah.
But
okay.
steroid's a steroid, you know?
Steroid. Yeah.
Can
Okay,
I say something about addiction?
sure, fire away.
I was listening to a lecture by a psychologist today, and his field of study is addiction. By the way, who do you think hires this psychologist the most to come and give talks and be a consultant?
Rehab places.
Casinos.
Oh, okay. Well,
Casinos, because they want their clientele to become addicted.
yeah.
He told us interesting story about how the brain works. He said this experiment has been repeated a number of times with the same results. You do a search for people who were part of the club disco scene in the 1980s, who went there and took cocaine. And then you put them in a similar environment. By the way, they have given up cocaine. All right. But you take them to a similar disco, the sound, the lights, the music, the dancing. And while they're enjoying themselves, you walk up to them with a mirror with 4 lines on it. And you say, look, 4 lines of baking soda. What do you think of this? He goes, it brings back memories. And then you say, do you want to try it? And 90% of the time, the people will say, oh, yeah, I would. And then you say, but it's baking soda. That's okay. That's okay. I would still like to try it.
Yeah, it's not catch and release. It's fishing. You know,
Yeah.
they know. Yeah, they're lining them up. I like to call addiction centers like methadone, the casino, whatever. They treat you like cattle. You know, they give you your little bottle of non-GMO grass feed and then send you on your way. You know, they know what they're doing. They're psychologically getting you addicted before you even get addicted. Like they plant the seed in your head that you're addicted.
I had an NDA that's still in effect for working at the casino, but I can say generally, I saw one person that was a bad gambling addict, and I thought this person was an alcoholic in withdrawal. No, this person didn't drink. This person was just a mess because they were doing, I mean, I thought this person had thrown up because their voice was really raspy and aggravated and very psychomotor agitated. It was really sad to see. But they could, they tracked how much everybody would spend, especially the regular people. They'd have a card, they'd swipe, and they would track it. And I asked one of the managers, is anybody in the positive? They said, no, nobody. Everybody is losing money. Nobody is ahead. So everybody has a system. Systems don't work. That's the whole point.
Sure.
Did you notice that the online gambling things, websites, are advertising now? Mm-hmm. And in their advertisement, they say, your first $100 bet is on the house. Mm-hmm. I would like to know how many people say, oh, well, if it's on the house, I'll go do the $100 bet. But then they don't stop.
Well, the first one's free. The first one's free.
Yeah, the fine print is actually that $100 bet is only matched if you win. They add $100 to your winnings. They don't even give that to you. That's not free. You have to win. Even if you win $5, you win 105, but you still win it. So, but that depends. And then also in the fine print for gambling problems, call such and such.
Yes.
You know, so they can legally advertise it. You know.
But that's why you have to win. So if you lose your first bet, you don't get anything except
you don't get the bonus. Yeah, right.
And so that's how they save that. And I mean, well, we gotta keep rocking and rolling. Do you have a topic you want to address? Otherwise, I'm going to run you over.
I'm just kind of hanging out. No, go ahead.
Okay. So who is Emil Cioran?
Oh, you got to hear about Emil. Showran. Cioran.
Oh, Cioran. Okay.
That's how you pronounce it.
Well,
okay. He lived in the, he was from Romania.
Okay.
Then when the Romanian Revolution came, he immediately left. He didn't want to be part of it. And he went to France. And he loved France so much that he started speaking French, writing in French. And he became a famous philosophical writer. And, the Prez is here. Oh, wonderful. Let's welcome the Prez. Where are you, Prez?
Doing? I'm here. I don't know why I'm not on.
Now you're on.
You got to press the camera button.
He did.
Okay.
But Tom has to put him on the screen.
All right. Anyway,
Can you hear me, Richard? Can you hear me, Richard?
Yeah, you sound good.
Okay, so Jason wanted to talk about genetics a little bit, and I had a genetic question for him. And this is probably I don't know how he's going to react to this, but we'll give it a shot. I'm on. Okay, good. So
yeah, we're waiting to ask you a question.
Yeah, is it a fact, according to what you learned, that intersex as we understand it really exists?
Yeah, absolutely. It happens rarely, but anything can happen. Like one of the things similar but not the same is a theory about transsexual or transgender is hormone exposure to the developing conceptus in the fetus. That is something that can possibly do it. We don't know the ins and outs, but intersex is very rare. I mean, it's very rare.
Are you thinking like one out of 100?
Oh, less than that.
Oh,
less than that. And that the interesting thing is, Paula said about ambiguous genitalia all the time. I can't remember any kid I ever saw that had ambiguous genitalia. Because that's what happens. That was on an SVU episode.
What is ambiguous genitalia?
You can't tell if it's male or female. You can't tell if it's a clitoris or a penis in the baby. That it's not clear because that the vagina isn't invaginated as much, so you can't really, and a lot of things look like a lot of things,
Okay. So, I mean, I think can we come to an understanding that based on your expertise that that's a fact that we should all accept?
Well, yeah, I mean, science is. It's not a matter of theory or belief. It just is. Some things just are, and intersex does occur. It's just very, very uncommon.
Yeah, and okay, Richard, do you agree that you can agree to that definition?
That some people are born with both sets of genitalia? Yeah.
So,
Or I don't know all the forms of it, but Jason would know more than I do. But yeah, that multiple.
Brez, put your phone down. You're shaky.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry. There you go.
yeah, you're gonna give me motion sickness. I'm going to throw up. I never get motion sickness.
Well, that's great because I haven't either, but I've been on a cruise once, so that was cool.
Okay, so you came in right in the middle of Richard talking, Prez. Okay, so we're going to come back to him. Okay.
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 To the National Institutes of Health in 2002, 0.018% of people in the world are intersex.
Yeah, that's what AI told me. It was 1.7, and this
I
person
wouldn't
says
trust AI.
1.8.
I'm going by National Institutes of Health.
Who is that?
That's somebody in Prez's room.
Who is that, Prez?
It's somebody that you briefly knew.
Intriguing.
Well, some people like to tell me
It's
I'm
like
wrong all the time.
social
So
media news. Vanessa didn't say which you should cite your sources on. Social media news, people are looking at articles, but get that away from me. There's so much phishing, right? And fake accounts, things where I go back and I check it on other sites. But most people, when they say they're getting their news from social media, what they mean is that they subscribed, they followed something like the New York Times. And that's what they're getting. And if they mean that they got their news from social media, meaning that like what their buddies posted, their conspiracy theories, that's not healthy. But we have no sources about this sources about this rare occurrence in which somebody lied about police abuse. I mean, it's better when we do these things for everyone to cite their sources.
okay, so get back to your Richard.
So I think our mystery guest there is saying that it could be higher than 1.8%.
Okay, well,
It wasn't 1.8%.
No, it's point-
It's like anything else.
Institutes of Health as of 2002.
a couple decimal points.
It's like anything else. It's whatever. It's only what we have. It's only what's documented. Like it's like anything else. We only have what is documented. There's so many undocumented cases of different things. We only have the information that is documented.
Right. We have to go by what is official, you might say.
I have one for you. Craniopagus. No, that's not the one. I forgot what the term is for the conjoined twins that have 2 legs, 4 arms, and 2 heads. So they're like a Y.
Whoa.
Craniopagus is when they're attached at the
they
head.
don't live to an old age, but they can be adults, I believe.
Well,
And then if one heart dies, they both die.
not at the same time though. That yeah, you're right though. That if one dies, the other will soon, because especially the organs they share. But that's why you rarely hear about it in the U.S. It's always from like Pakistan or India, because most people will abort conjoined twins in areas where you can, and you don't know about it there until they're born. So email Sheeran.
Shoran. Yeah. Okay, so
How you spell it again?
his official spelling is Cioran. His pronunciation is Shoran. That's how they say
All right.
things. In,
So he's a philosopher.
he is. Well, if you've ever said to him, Emil, you are a very a provocative philosopher, he would say, I am not a philosopher. I am a poet who provokes. So here's a quote that will give you an idea of the way Emil Cioran wrote. You ready for it?
Yeah.
You got to prepare yourself for this. We cannot help but act. We are forced back into existence constantly. You wake up in the morning knowing that everything you do today is ultimately meaningless, but you get up anyway. You make breakfast even though eating is just postponing death. You go to work even though your work accomplishes nothing permanent. You talk to friends even though conversation changes nothing fundamental. We are all seduced by the illusion that our actions matter. Suicide is not an answer, because suicide is an action too. and all actions are meaningless. Besides, without the possibility of suicide, I would have killed myself long ago.
Wow. So he's basically saying you're prolonging everything. Yeah.
Two thumbs down.
You're
That's
not a
just-
fan of Mr. Choran.
That's bullshit. Because I mean,
I've never heard anything by him, but I think that's bullshit too, because that's just saying like you're born to be miserable all the time.
yeah, I mean,
True.
like the mayfly lives less than 24 hours. They hatch, they immediately look to screw, and then they die. So
Right.
they have no existence. And so eating is just postponing the death. No, that's not living. Either you get busy living, or you get busy dying. Yeah.
Yes.
And so that's why he's just the other side. I'm the other side of the coin. You know, eat to live, not live to eat.
I have to get some water over here.
Or
And I just want to add that Christ said he came to bring us life more abundantly. So basically, life is more than food, and the body is more than clothes.
you're not welcome.
Oh, there,
Yes, I am. What
there
about
we
free
go.
speech absolutism? Free speech absolutism. Are you a hypocrite?
No, it's
Yes,
right.
you are. You're a hypocrite. Why am I the only one censored? Because I bring the truth.
With the exception of those who trample on the
Why?
speech of
Because I'm a
others.
woman?
You trample on the speech of others. That's why.
No, I'm not. I can see.
Okay.
I can let you talk.
No, you can't.
I'm letting you talk now.
Everything you do,
Address
you
this.
pollute.
No.
Who's this? Wait a minute. Who's?
What, am I the whore of Babylon?
Are you dead? Are you dead? That topic. Whose topic is that? Are you dead?
Oh, there's an app that has come out, and it costs $1, and you buy it for somebody.
Oh, you told me about this. Yeah.
Oh, don't
Tell me
mention
about
it.
this. What is it?
Yeah, you can tell it again, but you
Okay.
already.
It costs $1 for this app, and what you do is if you know someone who's a senior citizen who lives alone, you put it on their phone, and you set it up by asking the senior citizen, is there a time every day that you're up and awake? And let's say they say, yeah, 2:00 in the afternoon. So then you set it for 2. And every day at 2:00, the phone turns itself on and it makes a sound. And then they look at the phone and it says, press this button if you are alive and well.
Oh, come on.
So you press the button, and then everybody on that person's contact list, their son, their nephew, whatever, gets a notice immediately. So and so has checked in; they're all right. If 2 days go
We talked
by,
about this. You're repeating yourself. You already talked about this. You're repeating yourself.
Can
You're
you mute
repeating
that?
yourself. I thought
Mute
Jason.
that.
I thought he ran the show and he didn't like that.
Mute that, please.
No. The problem
No.
with that is that you don't know that it's the person who checked in.
No,
That's
I
one
asked
problem.
because I didn't know. I asked because I didn't know what he was talking about. That's me. My fault.
There's no fault.
No. The problem with one of those things, though, is that you don't know unless you're getting, a live feed of the person. You don't know who checked in to say that they're okay.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
yeah, somebody could sneak into their house and press the button for them.
No, what I'm talking about, dude, is like glitches. And and there could be somebody, but I mean, you don't know. You just don't know. That's really obvious.
so it's
Just like I
not-
said,
it's-
like fake accounts and shit like that. Yeah, somebody could sneak into your house, but that's not the more likely thing. The more likely thing is just like glitches with it. Or if somebody pressed the button and they're not actually okay, you can't actually physically see that they're okay unless it's, there's a camera and it's a live.
Camera.
Right. That's my point.
So I showed
Oh,
this.
are you calling it not knowing?
We're talking about 1984, I believe.
Well, that's a show, 1984. Big Brother has double standards.
Well,
So I showed the. I showed the.
Telescreen, huh, Richard?
I have a
Hey,
friend.
Big Brother.
I have this is the person who tramples on the free speech of others.
Yeah.
So
No, you trample on my free speech by
I
not
think,
by.
I think
So theoretically, if somebody were being kidnapped, if their house were being invaded, that would be the first thing that somebody would do as well. Somebody was trying to make sure that they're okay, that somebody would press the button that they were
Right.
okay without video. I mean, it's not.
If nobody's banned and nobody's censored, why am I banned and why am I censored?
Because you
That's a
trample
lie.
on the speech of others.
No, it's a lie. No, I'm not trampling. You're trampling on my speech. You're erasing me.
Not yet, Vanessa. Not today, not yet. Give me time.
Um,
Do you erase her?
Okay. Who's
So I showed it to a person who does a podcast
Yeah.
here. She's in her
Yeah, they're
70s.
Yeah.
friends. Yeah, person.
Vanessa.
And I said, what do you think of this app? She said, would you put that on my phone? She said, I live alone. I'm a senior citizen. And my
What's a
son,
grinder?
my son never contacts me. And I would like him to know in the event that there might be something wrong someday. Because if you skip 2 days, then they get a notice saying they didn't check in. You better check in on them.
I think the issue with it's like I think we're going to make a point tomorrow. We're going to be making it a point tomorrow of the way that how Vanessa can be if she's not attacked.
Okay.
So we're hoping to have. Okay, we have a surprise for you at some point.
Well, Vanessa has her own show on February 22nd. You can actually mention that on the show.
That's true. Misimo Encounter.
Is that the name of the show?
We're the three-headed dog, like Fluffy.
Fluffy.
from Harry Potter. So I guess let's continue with the show though. I think one of the topics was are you dead? And that can be looked at from a lot of different angles. In fact, you were touching on that when you're talking about the philosopher that thought everything is meaningless. If everything is meaningless, then how can there be such definition of every little detail in our lives?
A cow is not self-aware, and so it's our self-awareness. That's the thing. What?
How do you know a cow isn't self-aware? I remember seeing a video of a deer running from a snow slide, and they looked back and saw they weren't going to run, so they just stopped and it overtook them and they died.
A cow and a deer are quite different mentally.
Okay, I don't know enough about it then.
You say a cow isn't self-aware?
Right. That they don't. That they don't recognize. They have emotions, but they don't recognize anything that they have personality.
Wow.
They don't.
Okay.
They
That
don't
makes
recognize.
sense.
They're just.
Yeah, they are kind of dumb. So
There are YouTube videos of someone who goes up to a cow pasture and starts playing the trombone, and the whole herd of cows silently walks over to them and forms an audience in a semicircle to hear the trombone because it's so similar to the way they move.
Yeah.
Is it a rusty trombone? It's a rusty trombone.
Prez, is that what's going to be on Vanessa's show, that kind of talk?
Who knows?
I don't know about that.
Only our Lord and Savior, the Lord Almighty, knows what the future holds. Beep, 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 beep.
Vanessa, it's not working right now.
What ain't?
Because you do have chemistry with Jason. She does.
No.
When she cuts you off and Jason gets frustrated but not ready to kill you. There's a wonderful chemistry there. And you and I, when we have conversations in private, and I have said that should be on a podcast with just you and me talking, that's wonderful. But this isn't working as ripping as you bursting in occasionally.
Well, sometimes you gotta defend yourself, when people are trampling on you. And I know it's not. This ain't a good show. No,
Put that up,
good show. We used
Tom.
to have good shows. We used to have comedy.
You need to defend him so far.
Oh, you saw the messages. You saw the messages.
No, I didn't.
You did see the message. No, I told you about the messages.
Has anybody here?
The messages go into other parts of things that have occurred between people that are here. So
Has anybody ever familiar with rowing? It's the sport of rowing.
Of course, I used to do it.
So, Sasha, tell us what it means to catch a crab.
That means, but usually it's the fault of the other people in the boat.
Get it from a toilet seat.
Because no, it means that your
Crab?
oar gets caught in the water and it's a snag. And I remember the video that we used to watch the section again and again, where they were just rowing along all, like it seemed like they were in sync. And then somebody, whack, the oar comes and hits them in the face. And when we were in high school, we used to make them repeat that. Our City Honor is the only public school with a rowing team. But A lot of the problem, though, of when people catch a crab, though, is because somebody else in the boat wasn't in sync with other people.
To catch a crab is to
It's
drop
about
the
not
oar
working
in on
as
the
a
return
team.
stroke. You drop the oar in instead of being up. You're supposed to go in a circle, but
Yeah.
if you drop it in, that can throw you out of the shell or completely stop it. And
Right,
this
but
this
if you're not
conversation
in
has
sync
completely
with the
stopped.
other oars.
Does,
Yeah.
does the
Vanessa, you're
coxsman
doing very
say
good right
anything
now.
when that happens?
What is there to say?
Wait, he asked me what if somebody has ever rowed, and then he explained it, but that's not, it happens when people aren't in sync.
Yeah.
It happens when somebody's not a team player. It's
Yeah.
rarely a
What-
cause of the water that one oar goes flying and caught a crab. It's not because of like rough waters. It's because somebody wasn't in sync with the rest of the team. One person can screw up a boat
Okay.
of 8.
I have another example. There's a saw that comes out where if you touch the blade, it stops immediately, but it rips up all the guts of it because of all that torque. But it stops. That's what our
Power.
conversation
You mean
has
torque like
here.
Power, right?
What's that?
Power. Power. Torque
Torque
is
is
power.
centrifugal power.
Power. Yeah. We're talking about power structure dynamics, so it's appropriate you bring up torque and power.
Okay. I have no idea what.
I guess I have a topic. Is it important to have some me time? Okay, so let me explain. Like I was only working a couple days a week. Now I work 5 days a week. Well, Monday nights I help lead a book study, and I consider that my me time. My Monday nights, I look forward to it. Is it important to have a little bit of Zen, whatever that is, whether it's a book study or how important it is to you guys to have a day to yourself? Even if it's with other people, how important is it in your life to have a day to yourself?
Huge.
Yeah, I get that every night. So
Okay. Well, we don't all have the luxury of that. I'm just saying, like, is it
I'll
important?
pray for you.
I'm saying when you're stretching yourself too thin, it's important, right? You need a day to.
I would agree.
have you heard about Moltbook? MOLTBOOK. That's a conglomeration of AI bots that have been all put together, and they started their own cult. The AIs did. They talked to each other, and there was one of the AI bots that reviewed everything, looking for all this. Said, "Now I know what it feels like to be emotionally exhausted."
Wow.
The AI said that. Now I get what the humans mean when they say I'm emotionally exhausted.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, what do you think about? There's a rise in
Well, I
AI.
think Vanessa is doing very well at being who she can be. She wants to promote humor, and she is doing it in a way that's acceptable, and maybe we can get along better, and that we can have better unity. Yes, that's the best.
I have an analogy.
Earlier, Richard.
I have an analogy for that. When I was in residency, there was one of the attendings that liked to do simulation, but you know what? She sucked at it. She was not a good simulator. Her cases sucked, and she didn't demonstrate them well.
Me, I'm good at
Our backyard and front yard.
I'm good at what I do. I know that. I know I'm good.
Okay,
Garden.
okay, we're gonna cut that one off. We're gonna Timesis,
No,
as I
it's
say in
already-
Greek.
it's already on.
Timesis, cut
Hey,
it.
Going.
we started the band.
Overlap. Keep going.
Fritz Haber.
If anybody wants to know about it, we started the band. Sal, Vanessa, Josh, myself, and this guy Alexi. We got drums, keyboard, guitar, vocals, bass, and
Who plays the
we got
bass?
some music.
That's
Vanessa, she's very good. She's very, very good. And we're putting some songs together. So,
Like covers or your originals?
well, it's progressive rock. It's a lot of improv, no covers, but a lot of inspired songs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who's the guitarist?
Rush and Yes, and Aphrodite's Child.
Our friend Josh, the
I'm on
guitarist.
dual too.
I'm the drummer.
Very froggy. I'm a lead bassist. I'm very good.
Like if you think of the band Core, how they have a lead bass and a lead guitar.
Yeah, Jonathan, what's his
Kind of the
name?
same. Yeah, kind of the same
Brian is
sound. where you have a
excellent at
lead bass.
drums. He's been doing drums for about over 20 years.
Dead bodies everywhere.
Right. Well, yeah, like a lead bass. That's kind of how it is. Vanessa is the lead bass, and dude, it just. When we have something recorded, we'll let you hear it, but it's coming together very good.
Daryl Power is the bassist for Great Big Sea, and his brother Keith did the music for Hawaii Five-0. They're from Newfoundland.
Hawaii, yes, Ala Moana, my home.
Okay, Richard, tell us about Fritz Haber.
Haber?
Yeah.
Okay. He was the chemist.
Oh, no.
Should I continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. He was a chemist, and in 1909, he figured out a way to extract nitrogen from the air. And once he was able to do that, farmers could use it in their crop fertilizer. So that means that once you could put nitrogen in farming, your yield went up exponentially. So it is estimated that of all the people on Earth today, 3 out of every 4 owe their lives to the fact they were able to eat because of what Mr. Haber invented in 1909. So when World War I broke out, Haber, he was a patriotic German, he decided, hey, maybe I could use that gas that I extracted from the air.
B?
Maybe I could use that gas that I extracted and used it for fertilizer to help in the war effort. So he invented poison gas. And then when World War II came out, he modified the poison gas, and that was the gas that was used in the gas chambers.
See, I said it before you did.
Okay.
Zyklon B. I know things.
Now get this, the ironies of fate. Members of Haber was Jewish, members of his own family were killed by that gas. And his wife was so guilty that she was just married to this guy, but she felt so guilty, she killed herself when she found out.
Well, see, the thing why cyanide gas wasn't effective in trench warfare, but they could use it there is because it was enclosed. Because the cyanide rises. So if you put it out in the open, it just blows away in the wind and it dissipates. Whereas chlorine gas is 1, visible, and 2, heavier than air. So that would go into the trenches. And like in World War I, the chlorine gas, the mustard gas.
Speaking, I just watched a video of, I think it's from 2019. This huge, giant, loud, very, very, very loud machine with generators, with hydrogen, water vapor.
Yeah.
And they made their own clouds. And eventually that cloud, they followed it like 12 or it was like 16 miles, and it started to rain. But this machine, created its own cloud. You know how they were like seeding and trying to control like the sun, the heat and stuff. I actually seen it in action on a video though, and it was very, very cool.
Yeah, they use silver iodide to seed clouds, and that causes a nidus.
Well, no, it wasn't chemtrails though. It was from the ground, and they were blowing the cloud up.
Chemtrails are not. That's funny. If you mention chemtrails, I immediately throw that into pseudoscience. That's
Yeah. Well, it's the same concept as seeding. It's not actually chemtrails that I'm saying. But no, it was from the ground though. This giant machine, it would blow. It shot this cloud up in the sky. Yeah, it was the coolest thing. We created our own clouds.
Well,
2019.
The thing that gets me is those snow removal machines that melt the snow down. They are so inefficient. The amount they take out is trivial. Trivial. If you realize how much snow is there, and this is the water on our planet is incredible. It's incredible when you think about it,
Yeah.
That
Water.
And we hear, I'm waiting for water wars to occur in the U.S. because when Arizona and California come asking, all the states in Ontario that are around the Great Lakes, we say, screw you. You want it, you pay for it.
A good solution would be to desalinate urine. You could desalinate urine and you would have a lot of water, fresh water. You can desalinate. That's mostly what's in there. Get rid of the uric acid and the sodium.
Where did you hear this, Vanessa?
That's the thing. Desalination. They do it with salt water in the ocean.
Okay.
Urine and salt water.
For it. Yeah, they do.
That there's a lot more than just salt. The urea in
True, but you could refine. You could filter. You could filter and make it usable.
Yes, that's what they do on the International Space Station.
International Space Station, and there's also people living off the grid that have the rain collectors. Well, not people off the grid do it as well.
That's called cisternal rain. All the water in Hawaii is cisternal. They don't desalinate anything in Hawaii. It's just
catchment tanks.
Yeah.
Catchment tank.
Yeah, but people live off the grid though. They do that with their urine. They turn it their plumbing system into using usable water.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
unless it's
You can recycle beer.
and I'm just waiting until time goes down to give you a nice clean joke. Okay.
Good luck.
So here we are. A guy gets his soup and he says, "Waiter, the soup is cold." The waiter says, "It's gazpacho." He says, "Gazpacho, the soup is cold."
Okay.
Have a great week, all y'all.